Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Game Addicts Podcast, the show where we talk about the modern and retro video games that we play and collect. I'm your host, Brando. Join with me today, as always, this podcast player 2, Mike.
Oh, hello.
How's it going?
It is going.
Yeah, you know what? Some rough times ahead.
Yes.
You know, for both of us. I mean, I guess more so your situation than mine. We won't, you know, it's personal. We ain't got to go into it. I did have a rough day today, so I do apologize if I'm just very blah today. I'm trying to get. I had a monster. I was like, I need something. I need to pick me up. I had a monster and I had cookies, so I needed cookies. I need to up my blood sugar. I'm like, I'm gonna host a podcast. I really hated it. You know, like there are episodes you go back in a Journey to Comics, and you'll hear me. I'm really tired.
Right.
Because we're doing the episode at really late at night because it's the only time that we could do it, and it's like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and you can just hear the gone in my voice. It's like I'm there to do the show, and I want to do it, but my give a shit meter is running out.
Yeah.
It's running on empty. Hey, doggy. Hello, doggy.
Joining us today is my dog Padfoot.
Yes, he's always joining us today.
Yes.
You mauled me in the last episode too.
Yep,
and
he's up.
Hi.
Up in your seat.
Yeah. I just want to let you guys know that if you guys want to check us out on all of our major, ways that we release on the podcast services, we're all over the place. iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, all that stuff. You can check us out on YouTube if you want to watch. If you want to see this glorious dog maul me and just cover me with love, you can do so. And, of course, one last thing before we get into today's episode. If you guys want to head over to the Journey to Comics Network Patreon, just head over to patreon.com/journeytocomics. Throw a bone. Throw a buck or two or three.
I get it. Throw a bone.
Doggy. Well, you get early access for a buck, which means when I go home tonight, we're recording this. This episode goes up on audio tonight. You don't got to wait a week. Usually we record a week in advance. So for the video, I haven't really decided to do that yet. We started over there on Journey to Comics feed, which is now the Journey to Comics Network feed, and we moved over onto our own before the network was formed. So this is our way of staying, on the same feed as all those other shows. If you throw a buck, you can get all of us over there, and plus as up to a week early. So if you guys want to do that, you can. And if you guys don't want to, that's cool too. It just kind of helps us out a little bit, helps us with the hosting a little bit right now. So that's awesome. And I'm sorry if I was just rolling through that. It's difficult to love a dog and podcast at the same time.
Yeah, because he demands all of your love. Because when you stop, he'll start whining.
He look at that.
Oh, he scratches you.
Look at it. He got me. He was so excited to see me today.
Yeah.
Does he get that way with everybody though?
Nope. Only the people he likes.
No.
So far it's you, Gretchen, Caitlin.
Close. People who come over.
Yeah, people he knows. What?
People that he has seen often enough. So today we're going to be talking about loosely some Gamescom because it's still kind of going on. We got some stuff we've been watching. We watched a few videos today before we started the show. The SNES fiasco, we're going to get to that.
Yes.
Of course, if you were lucky enough to get one, cool. If not, buddy, I've got some opinions. But I got a couple pickups. Now, I only got 2 here because we're also going to talk about some DLCs. I kind of wanted to touch up on a topic that that I like to do when I'm collecting. I like to try and get DLCs in physical format when and where possible.
Yes.
And so we're just going to go over. I bought some physical copies of some games, and Mike's got some from his collection that he's got. And we can go through and we can tell you what some of our favorite DLCs are, but also ways that you can get this on physical copy on different systems. But first, my pickups. I got the Mega Man Legacy Collection and Mega Man Legacy Collection 2. Now, I went to our favorite store in town and hoping that they would have the Legacy Collection, and they did not. Fortunately, they did have a bunch of other stuff that was cool. I was told I could spend X amount of money, and then I could have got something there. I could have got Dragon Warrior 7 for $20. I could have got FF7. Don't need it. Green Label for $12. Hey, you leave that kitty alone.
She's mean.
She's seeping.
She's mean. Anyways.
I like how he's playing that. I'm not touching you.
Yeah.
I'm just. He
plays that with her all the time, and she usually.
I'm your friend. I didn't see that on my screen.
All right.
Yeah, so they had games there that I wanted. They had a bunch of GameCube stuff, and since they took the GameCube off of the where they normally had it, they had it on 2 ends and then where they have the horror movies at.
Yeah.
And so they had a bunch of cube stuff there, which is uncharacteristic for us. So it was really cool to see some of that. They had that Metroid Wind Waker holiday bundle.
$319.
Something like that.
For the holiday bundle for Metroid Prime and Wind Waker.
Yeah. Buddy, if you're a completionist, go for it. But literally, I have both of those games separate, and it cost me like a fraction.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went in there looking, and I was originally going to get these on Xbox One because of the D-pad.
Right.
And then I had to go to the Devil's Playground to get these. That's unfortunate, but sometimes you do what you do. And those of you who are following the show, we call that like Devil's Playground. That's GameStop. So when I went into GameStop, they had it for both systems, and on both systems, the used copy of Mega Man Collection was $20. Brand new, they're $20. So I don't know if they just raised it because because the second collection had just come out.
I'm sure they did.
Which it probably is, because when I looked up, my phone will not like stop. It's like doing a start charging crap. I don't even look at it. I hate it, dude, because it distracts me. I'm like, message.
Yeah.
And it's going, I'm charging. I'm not charging. I'm charging. I'm not charging. So I had to go in there and I had to buy them. I got Legacy Collection 2 new, so we're going to like unwrap that here in a second. But I'm actually very happy with this. Even though I bought it at the Devil's Playground, even though I spent a full $20 for it. Look at this.
Oh, it still has the patches.
Still has the little with stickers.
Yeah.
So Mega Man, Dr. Wily, they're still in the plastic. It's not
even been open.
Yeah, and I can't even see what they all are. It has a download code probably used to get music from the 6 games, and then check this out. You get a little chart for Mega Man, for all the Mega Man games, because Legacy 1 is 1 through 6.
Right.
And because you can actually play the Robot Master little boss mode.
Yeah.
Where you can mix and match different powers from all the different games together.
Oh, that's nifty.
To have your own power set.
It's got one of the health robots.
Oh, okay.
And then
what's the other one?
I'm trying to get it. Continue talking. I'll get it.
But I just thought that was really cool because I love Mega Man, but I don't know all the games.
Proto Man.
Okay, cool. I don't know all the Robot Masters by heart, so that's kind of a cool thing to do.
For the older ones, I don't remember the order, but when it comes to 8, like Mega Man 8, I can do that one in my sleep.
All right, so I mean, when I looked in the case that I had, it didn't have this in it, and then he gave me a different case, which had that in it. So
I want because
hooked me up.
they're really finicky about this. Is like they will take a new game and they will open it
and then call
it new. And I don't personally like that because they'll actually take the disc out
and put it in
put it in a sleeve.
Yeah,
like just put a.
I agree.
I mean, I know how many boxes they have. They throw away cases for PS4, PS3, all those. They throw them away. Why not reuse those as your display items and don't open my game? If I buy something brand new and it's open, I'm pissed. That smell. But that's one of the things I hate. Plus the whole what they do with that one game.
The Xenoblade.
Xenoblade.
They did that with Xenoblade, and they did that with Metroid Prime Collection.
I think it was
like on the Wii.
That was when it was $44.
But yeah, they opened up the Xenoblade, and because the used price was higher than the new price,
they
just opened them and then sold them as pre-owned.
So they could get. I think they made like 10 extra. 10.
Brand new is $60, and they made $30 extra on it because it was like 90. Oh, we got that.
So let's see if there's any stickers in here. What we got? Nope. Blank.
That sucks.
That disappointing as hell. What? How can your first one
have all that crap in it?
Good job, Capcom. Thank you. You have
kind of shows me they were just trying to get this out.
Yeah, I mean, you've got this comes with the stickers. It is Mega Man tracks. I mean, you've got the chart for the Legacy Collection. for the first one, and then you put out the second one, and it's nothing.
Now,
Come on.
there's a reason why I wanted to buy this today.
Why?
Well, okay, so the first one has Mega Man 1 through 6. I didn't get this when it came out in 2015. Why? I have Mega Man 1 through 6 on my other collection.
Yes, which I have that collection.
I have it on the GameCube. I think you have it. Do you have it on GameCube?
No, I have PS2.
PS2.
I want it on the Cube. That's where
Anyway, it comes with, Mega Man 1 through 8, I think.
1 through 8 and both of the fighters.
Yes. So Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 comes with 7 and 8. And then 9 and 10.
Which
9 and 10 are DLC only.
Yep.
On Xbox 360, PS3. And then I'm pretty sure you can get them on Steam.
Yeah.
But you can't get those in physical copy until now.
Which brings us to our next topic,
We're gonna
but
take that-
not till I'm done with my pickup.
Yeah, we're gonna go do something else. But I really wanted to do that because I just thought it was like, we're talking about DLC. I'm like, oh, dude, I want to go get that. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna get this anyway because I want those two on physical form, right?
Right.
Because when those two came out, when Mega Man 9 came out, and I'm like, a new old school Mega Man.
Yeah.
And which is funny because you go through 1 through 6 in 8-bit, 7 in 16-bit, 8 in 32-bit because it was on Saturn and PS1, back to 8-bit. But when 9 came out, I lost my shit. Then they made 10, I'm like, ah. And then I got them on PS Plus. So I got both those games for free.
Yeah.
On the PS3, played the crap out of them, and now I got them on physical copy. And it's because of my OCD having this on the shelf for just Mega Man Legacy Collection 2. Well, where's Legacy Collection 1? Got it, I got it on GameCube. No, I got
No,
I
you
got
don't
all
have the
10
right
games.
one. This is the right one.
all 10 games. It's because I did not really understand the need for this,
Right.
and I didn't need it until now.
And
Because
now you
now
need it.
with 2 games for $40, you get 10 games altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So good pickup for me.
Yes. Oh, I didn't show you this. That was the last time I was at this replay. $44
Ow.
for cart Mario. So for this randomly here, I went to this replay a couple weeks ago. I want to say 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was right before I bought the PC. So it'd be about a week ago. Right when you walk in the door, they had a GameCube collection right up front. First game I saw, Mario Kart Double Dash. I was like, ooh, oh my God. $42.99. Hard tack. Anyway, so moving on to my pickup, because that's the picture before my pickup. Because I'm not packing a computer in here for you to listen to me thump around if you're listening to us. Or watch me fumble it around and probably drop it and break it. And yeah. Yeah. So, of course, I got this from the marketplace on Facebook.
You were ruling over them. Because once you tell them what kind of deal you got for this, I was wondering what all you included with that deal.
Skate easy.
I was wondering if Joanna was going to be okay with everything you gave her for that.
Yeah.
As in not just money, because there's no way that you got that good of a deal with just money.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me. I'm just saying that. I don't know.
I'm happy because this puts us in the right place.
Yes, it does. Because here's the thing: when Caitlin got that awesome deal for the boxed Chrono Trigger,
Right.
first thing I said was, I don't know if I want to know how you got this good of a deal.
So
he wouldn't have given me that good a deal.
I followed this for a couple of days, and what happened is that
What happened was
I asked Joanna. I said, "Hey, this is up. This is what we need. This will replace your computer 100%. We need to look at buying it, and I might be able to haggle her down a little bit." Come to find out, I couldn't find the post, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm pissed." Right whenever she's like, "You have the okay, you can only spend $250." I was like, "Yes," and I had the money. And then she's like, "Well, they took it down." And I was like, "Oh no!" But what she did is she took it down and then changed the cover picture to a different picture.
Okay.
And as I was looking through it, it was that cover picture, and I was like, "Wait, I know what that is." And I flipped over, and I was like, "That's it." I offered her $200. So what I got in this $200 deal, $200 for PC. It's just the tower. I got a i5 7400, which is what we need to stream.
Mm-hmm.
DDR4, 8 gigs of RAM. This is what we need to stream.
Yep.
It has the integrated graphics, which doesn't matter because she replaced it with a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 Ti, which for those nerds out there, that is the 4 gigabyte GDDR5, PCI Express 3.0 graphics card. This is a good card. This is a really good card for the price that it is. That she put that in there, and it has a HDD 1 terabyte, and then
DVD-RW.
and then it has a wireless LAN with Bluetooth. Now,
cool.
Bluetooth is great because we have a lot of Bluetooth components.
You can also do a Bluetooth controller as well.
Right. No need for the plug if I get one of the old ones. So, yeah, and this was all for $200. Now, when you average this out, she bought this from Best Buy in March.
This March.
Because it has one reason, it's the DDR4. That's really new. It's like 2 years old.
So, she listed this and said it was her streaming
computer. This is her computer to stream for her Xbox account. So what she would do is just run her Xbox with an Elgato. Mm-hmm. And funny thing about it is that I took a picture of this for you and sent it to you, and that on her only items she did not wipe this computer. But she only had one thing on there, the Elgato file for the HDS or HD60S.
So it was already on there.
It was already on there. I didn't even have to install it, and she had the streaming and Nightbot on there. So that's all stuff that she already has. All the stuff is already configured, tip jar, everything. All I got to do is change her name out to ours, and we're rolling.
We'll have to figure that out, and then hopefully once your schedule sort of like gets figured out, where we can start making. Because eventually...
That's the chat streaming for that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the capture. So you have your tip jar. Everybody that's following you and that's in with messages, and then your imagery.
Well, I mean, because the thing is that we've talked about changing the day that we do the show to the last day of the week for us to work, which would be different for you than me based on what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
But then we would take like an hour break from doing the show. All right, let's take an hour break, grab a bite to eat or something. And then we'll stream some games, and we'll hang out. And it's almost like an extension of the show, extension of us hanging out, and then we get to help build our brand a little bit more.
Right.
And so I still want to do that.
Oh, yeah, we will.
And so, like, I've let Nate know that we're probably going to have to change the JIC recording date because some of these days, some of those last days of the week would be Friday.
Right.
So we would just come over. I would come over after work. We would do the show, and we would stream that live, take a break, play some games, whether that be modern or retro games. Whatever we're going to play, whether it's 2-player or even just sitting back and chilling out and playing some single-player games together.
With some actual commentary
like,
and some background on what's happening.
Because I would love to play through the Metal Gear Solid series with you.
Yeah.
So, because it's a lot easier. Because it's like, well, you have these games and you want to have time to play them. But when you're just like, when we're like, all right, we're going to stream all the Metal Gear Solid games until we're done with them. And that's crazy.
All of them?
Metal Gear Solid 1?
Well, the Solid collection or all of the some of the little retro shows?
Nah, dude, I don't know if I want to do the retro games because those games, especially the first one, is hard as shit for me. I'm not good at it.
Because you have that big collection that has, 25?
The Subsistence for 3.
Yes.
Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence came with the MSX versions of 1, the original 1 and 2 Metal Gears. And then
the Ultimate Collection that has every...
Metal Gear
VR. All
well, see, we would play through Metal Gear Solid. We would play through the storyline. We would play through Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3. And
now we're gonna do them in chronological order or
release order.
Release order.
Right, I think we're gonna do them in release order because even though the story bounces back, the gameplay slowly enhances. So if we played it in like chronological order, we'd have one gameplay and then we'd have older gameplay.
Yeah.
And then we would have a little bit newer gameplay, this gameplay, that gameplay. So. Now, that does lead into question: Will we play 5? And of course, because it is a part of it. Whether or not it is, debatable. Is it the best one out of it? I don't think so.
He's tearing something up.
What are you tearing up, down that doggy?
Anywho,
But I would love to do that. I would love to play the Mass Effect games,
Yeah.
the whole trilogy, and then of course play some good multiplayer stuff too. Whether that be some shooters, whether that be some like MMO or like the EverQuest, that Batman or that Justice League game that you got, or maybe we play through like the X-Men Legends games.
Justice Heroes.
Heroes.
Legend of Heroes, something like
but
that.
play through the X-Men Legends games or something like that would be fun. The Marvel, what's that game? The Marvel Universe.
Marvel.
What is that game? Ultimate Alliance.
Ultimate Alliance.
Those games where it's like a big dungeon crawler. Those would be fun to do where we can play together. But yeah, dude.
And some Turtles in Time.
Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kick some ass at Turtles in Time.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that was your pickup. So you got the PC. We're ready to roll, which is awesome because unfortunately with your situation, you're scaling back down on your buying.
Yeah, I'm scaling down dramatically. Now there will be probably no more retro buys. If I want to buy PC stuff, it will have to be. Yeah, right. It will have to be. I'll have to save up for it for a couple of months.
We'll see, and that's the thing too, is that I kind of wish I would have started this show when I wanted to start the show. But the fortunate thing was, me and you weren't on that talking level yet, where I could probably get you comfortable enough to talk on the show like this.
Yeah.
So, because when I wanted to start the show, that's when I was buying. That's when I started collecting. So all of my big, huge buys, this show completely missed.
Right, but we could take time. If you remember, I know that you remember most.
I actually do have my old pickup videos.
So we can go off those and just bring them and say, okay, guys, for some of our filler videos.
Okay, so for this segment, we're going to do a retrospective on Brando's retro pickups. That would be really
Retro?
So do you want to just transition into the DLC topic first?
Yeah, we can transition straight from... I guess I'll do mine. I'll do a couple of the ones I have. So we'll go with the first time this was released. So Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody knows this game. For a lot of people, this is their first Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
And still arguably one of the best Zelda games.
I agree.
Of all time. This is the first time it's ever been released. The Master Quest on the GameCube. When they re-released Ocarina of Time, they had a 2-game bonus disc, which included the Master Quest. Never before released. So...
I just did the Metal Gear Solid, like
gunshot
gunshot continue. I don't know why. I did it. Added effect.
Now later on, in the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time...
It's in there.
It is in there.
So those are 2 ways that you can get in physical copy the Master Quest. Now... I'm not 100% familiar with the Master Quest and how that was released in Japan.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Was it was the game just re-released, or was it just a different? What was the Master Quest? A different cart that read your save? I don't know.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
But yeah, GameCube was the first way that it was released, and then for more modern players, if you wanted to get the 3DS one, it's on there as well.
I love this. Get a sneak peek at these and other hot titles.
The launch games almost.
F-Zero. 1080, Zelda Wind Waker, Wario World. I really want to get that. Metroid Prime, and Four Swords. So this is a way that if you guys are Zelda fans and you actually have another copy of this that has 4 of them.
I have the promo disc that comes with Ocarina, Majora's, and then Zelda 1 and 2 for the NES.
But I picked this up because it was the right price, and I was in the right place at the right time.
That one and Four Swords are the only 2 Zelda games that I need to complete my collection, other than the other handheld, the Phantom Hourglass Spirit Tracks.
I have Spirit Track.
Yeah,
or Phantom Hourglass.
I know. Disc Replay had it a while back, and I couldn't have bought it.
It's still $24.
No, it was cheaper.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was like.
Well, you also
15?
had to get the. Nope, never mind.
I thought there's another one.
There's another one that I can't think of.
On the DS, but I can't remember.
There's Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass.
Phantom Hourglass is the one.
Minish Cap. That's in the GBA.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you guys are into Zelda and you're collectors, this is a really cool. I mean, this was bought for collective purposes. I mean.
Yeah.
It's in mint condition. The booklet has been opened. It doesn't have any water log on it. Usually these come with water
You can get lucky and not have
I got
that.
lucky.
What is up with the GameCube style of case? I didn't understand any of that.
I don't know.
It is just ridiculous. It's like that constitutes way too much plastic use.
It is one of the biggest cases.
No, and then look at that. What's the point of that? It's like
It's
a big
hollow.
hole.
Yeah. Well, before they used to have the bar that would go in there that you couldn't open it.
No.
They had a bar that snapped in here that you had to
Sneaky Nintendo.
pull it out. But
We're not gonna do a DVD disc.
no DVD disc. And this was their way to counter piracy. Was the GameCube?
The mini disc.
Yeah, the mini disc, which ended up backfiring in their face.
Not as much as the Dreamcast.
Yeah, that's what you're
The GD-ROM ended up being really bad.
I guess I'll just roll through all mine.
Go for it. Yeah.
Diablo 3, the Reaper of Souls edition. There is another edition out there. I don't know what it is.
It's the Ultimate Evil edition.
Yeah, this is the Ultimate
Reaper of
Evil
Souls.
edition.
And that includes the expansions.
Right. The only expansion. The rest of it has...
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Hey, look, GameStop. When did I buy this? It even says my name on it.
Up there, top. Oh,
1/14/16.
Hannah. Was that girl?
Which girl?
Was that the cute girl that worked at GameStop?
Oh, the blonde girl that was always in there was actually really nice, and I really miss her there because
She doesn't work there anymore, does she?
I think she works at another one as like one of the store managers, but she was super nice because, as everybody knows, you go into the Devil's Playground, and the first thing that happens is they just start pounding you with questions. Get away from me. I've vented about this before, but she never did any of that. Hey, how you doing? Doing all right? Anything I can help you with today? No? You interested in any pre-orders today? No. No, I'll look at the if she'll ask, do you want to hear them? No. Okay. And then she leaves you alone. Then you go about your business. You go up there. You pay for your game. And she talks about it. She has the general knowledge of all these games. And she was just super. She was one of those people that, you liked purchasing from. But anytime you go in there now, it's, hey, let me check your points and see if you have a coupon. You did that yesterday, and it was you.
Yeah. Today, when I went in there to get my Mega Mans, there were 4 employees in there, standing there. So guess what?
You got swarmed.
First guy cleaning the window behind the demo units is like, anything I can help you find?
What? Are you alive?
And it's like, Jesus. He's like, I know, I'm hiding back here. And then I walked around. Another dude's like, hey, can I help you? Just browsing. Walked around again because I walked by the Xbox for once first to look for them. And then I went over to the PS4. Another dude broke away. He goes, hey, man, is there anything I can help you find? I'm like, I'm just looking right now. He goes, all right, man, if you need anything, just let one of the 4 people just standing here doing nothing help you. So he was pretty cool. They didn't hound me too much. But then of course when I went up there, he asked if he wanted to renew the membership.
Yeah.
And then I picked up the Legacy Collections. He's like, yeah, it's really cool because I just picked up Legacy Collection 2 because I haven't found a good way on modern systems to play Mega Man 8 because I've been looking for it. He goes, it was on the PS3 or whatever.
Yeah.
I played it there, but I want to play it again, and they haven't put it out on anything else, so I just picked it up. I'm like, a little small talk. But at that point, with the day that I've been having,
Yeah.
I was polite at best and
Right.
out at the damn store.
So the next one I have here, because you have a lot of the Sims that I have.
You talk about that. Well, we can actually talk about these sort of together. You go first.
Yeah, I'll go first. Oblivion, Game of the Year Edition.
Elder Scrolls 4.
Elder Scrolls 4. So I won't say that this really started the craze because Elder Scrolls has been around for a while, but I believe this was the, oh my God, this is epic.
I had a nose itch right here on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I had like a nose here over here. It's like going.
Because I own the other one, and it just blew my mind. The one before this, 3.
Morrowind.
Morrowind.
Morrowind. You know what? I should have brought that one.
I think I have it.
I have the okay because we don't have to go get it.
I think
We can just talk about it because I actually do have the Ultimate Game of the Year edition for that one too.
No, you have the Ultimate Edition. I have
the regular.
The regular, yeah, that's right. But so I mean that's a good game, but this game, this is what I heard about the most was Oblivion is amazing, and then Skyrim came out, and then nobody cares about anything else. Nobody cares about any of the other ones other than Skyrim is life. Skyrim is God. And I own almost every single version that you can get of this game. Only thing I'm missing is 360, which I owned previously, and PC.
And then you will be missing the Switch version, which I've actually seen gameplay of.
It looks good. And I won't be missing that because it will be purchased.
I watched a dude play it, and that was one of the games they weren't allowing you to capture footage of straight up.
Right.
So he actually played the game on handheld mode and just walked around and played some Skyrim. And he said it plays fantastic. And the game did look dumbed down a little bit, but you're playing it on a handheld.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude, that's awesome.
So what I have here in my hand, which none of you, other than you viewers,
on the YouTubes, you can see we got the map.
It actually comes with the map.
And it also has a little portion down here for the Shivering Isles expansion.
So, yeah, this is one thing about Bethesda, and we mentioned this on the last podcast, that we like, is that they do a Game of the Year edition or definitive edition of their games. And I do believe I do need to get up for another one. I have to get up.
Okay, well,
You go into Skyrim.
Because I have the Skyrim. Man, that nose hair.
Which I just restarted playing 2 days ago.
So I have the Skyrim on 360, the Game of the Year or the Legendary Edition. Oh, you have Dishonored, yeah.
Yeah, I have Dishonored. The PS3 version.
I bought this brand new from the Walmarts, from my local one. And I do remember the day that I picked this up.
God, you and your memory.
I do. It was on a Sunday, I do believe. And it was March 2nd, 14. At...
You know, I should have got Morrowind. I didn't even think about that. But I don't have the right one, but it's all right.
Okay, so it's 01, 09, 46. So at 1:09 in the morning, I went and bought this. It was still on nice at the time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now, before you go into yours, I'm going to finish up this. Of course, this is the manual for this version, just the game controls.
Yeah.
And that's about it. And then they give you a little slip of paper that tells you what all the add-on content for the Legendary Edition of Skyrim. Of course, you get Dawnguard, Hearthfire, and Dragonborn.
Yes.
And then, of course, just like with that one, the map.
The map. I love that they give you a map.
Well, it's really cool because, like...
Bethesda, keep it up. Hopefully, add a map to Fallout. I didn't get one of mine.
I got the chart.
Yeah, I didn't get that because I bought mine used.
Of course you did. Yeah, because you...
I didn't know.
Wouldn't listen to me.
I didn't know.
You didn't listen to me.
I didn't know.
I'm like, hey, guess what? You really gonna like this game. They really improved the shooting. You're like, well, I don't know.
And I'm like, you will. And then a year later, like, dude, I love this game. I'm like...
4 playthroughs later.
I told you would.
Okay, my next one, which is another Bethesda game, just because Bethesda does them right.
It's Bethesda published because it's made by Arcane.
You're right. But...
Arcane what? Is it just Arcane?
Yeah.
There's something underneath there.
Studio.
Of course, it's Studio.
I like the way we look so hard to look for studios.
What is it?
So, Dishonored, Game of the Year Edition, PS3. It includes the Knife of Durnwall, the Bring More Witches.
The Brigmore Witches.
I know, I
the
said Bring More. That's why I said Bring More Witches. Dunwall City Trials, Void Walkers. So, that's yet again another...
PS3. I'm pretty sure that's also for the...
They have it for the 4.
Yeah.
Dishonored Definitive
so
Edition.
PS3 360, you can also get the... Is that called the Definitive Edition? Is that the game for Dishonored? One of them was called... Definitive. And not Definitive. And it was... Because PS4 and Xbox One are really like the era of the remasters, even though it started on the PS3.
Right.
They started bringing over games because of the lengthy game development cycle. They started bringing games from the previous cycle up, which I'm going to talk about right now while you're looking that up.
Yes.
The Last of Us Remastered. One of the best games on the PS3. Bar none. Like there's not much else I can say as far as that goes.
It just says definitive.
Okay.
It might have been the second one. Because
No,
Dishonored 2.
No, because 2 came out for that. There was another game. Maybe it is.
Well, let's look. Hold on.
What? Maybe it's that one game. Shit. Oh man. Dark Souls. I'm drawing a blank. It's the one where you.
Is it one I have?
No. Darksiders.
Darksiders. I have Darksiders.
Do you have Darksiders?
I do.
I think I have Darksiders 2 because I
have
got
it on
it for
the
$2.
Oh, I forgot I had all them 360 games.
No.
I just bought because they're not on the shelf visible. They're in the other shelf, not visible, where the chair is.
So I got The Last of Us Remastered, and I had the original on PS3. And awesome game. That's the game that I let you borrow and told you. I didn't ask you if you wanted to borrow it. I told you were playing this game.
Yeah, you literally said you're playing this game here, right after Rob played it.
Mm-hmm. Because he gave it back to me and I gave it right to you.
Same day. You just handed it off.
Yep.
Because I'm standing next to you.
And now I gave that game to Calvin, and his kid loves it.
Great.
I don't know if his kid is really into the story. Maybe he just likes killing zombies or killing
the way this game is. This is a
mushroom.
Amazing game. There's 10. 10s across the board everywhere.
That year, that was a really crazy year for games because this came out, and then 3 months later, GTA 5 came out.
Yeah. 2
big heavy hitters, but this was the swan song for the PS3.
Yes.
Even though GT 6 came out, this is the game. And if you can get this, of course, you can get this on PS4 now with the DLC Left Behind on disc. And what Left Behind is, it is a bonus kind of prequel / mid-game DLC.
Yes, because you want to play that when Ellie is alone and taking care of Joel.
What I would do is if you've never played the game, play the main game first.
All the way through, yes.
And then go back and play Left Behind. Because in the game, and we're spoiling the crap out of this game right now, there's a twist in the middle where you end up playing as Ellie. After they said you never play as Ellie, you play as Joel. He goes, and then it flip-flops and you're playing as Ellie. Well, in the Left Behind, you also play as Ellie. But then in the main game where it twists around and you're playing as Ellie, you actually play the part in the DLC. It bounces back and forth between right before the game and mid-game.
Yeah.
Like that's part of like the same storyline within the DLC. It's like she keeps thinking back to this moment.
Right.
During the DLC, to before the game. But that's when you get to explore what happened right before you get to the point where you're playing.
How she is what she is.
Well, so you get her origin story sort of.
Right.
And then you get her on her own. Technically for the first time in story.
Right.
But if you play the game first, you will have already played with her alone.
But she's not alone. But she is fighting alone. But
yes.
she is.
And one thing
Joel is there.
The one thing that Left Behind did that was really cool that they didn't put into the main game was the infected and the other villains, basically your humans.
Yeah.
In the same place at the same time.
They weren't?
No, because typically in the main game it was one or the other.
Right.
Every once in a while you would have almost kind of like a scripted moment where some infected would come in. But now what you can do is that you can actually use the infected against the other people.
Right.
Because you can actually lead them into a room and throw bricks and get them to freak out and run in there. And you can use that distraction to sneak by.
Huh.
That was so cool. But yeah, that's the way the PS4 Last of Us Remastered. You can get the main game and you can get the DLC.
So my last one. I don't know if this has the DLC. I'm pretty sure it does.
You would think it would because then the one on the Vita also has the DLC
right.
for 2.
So Borderlands, the Handsome Collection. It says Borderlands 2 and Borderlands, the pre-sequel.
With all available bonus add-on content.
Yep.
Over $100 in value.
Yes.
Yes, that is 2 in the pre-sequel. Of course, I think didn't they release a DLC copy of 1 after this? That way you could play all 3 games on the Monarch console.
I believe so.
I thought they were going to do it, but I don't.
I believe they did, but don't quote me on that.
I remember them saying that they were thinking about it at some point.
Yeah. This is a good game. This is a fun game. I enjoyed it.
Fun to play with others. It's one of those cool little, like, let's just go in there and...
Fuck some shit up.
Yeah, and loot. So much loot.
Yes. It's...
This game is partially responsible for games like Destiny.
Yeah.
Now, I saw this picture the other day, which is funny because this reminded me of another topic I kind of wanted to talk about, the whole Mass Effect drama.
We'll save that for last then.
Well, okay. Well, I want to say the meme before.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so it's this guy walking with his girlfriend, and he goes, and there's a really attractive girl walking by. The girl he is BioWare.
Right.
The girl he's walking with is Mass Effect, and the hot girl walking by is Anthem. He's like, what? And then his girlfriend's like that, like, how dare you look at her like more fondly than me? That's kind of what's happening right now.
Yes, that is definitely what's happening right now.
So let's just talk about it. Let's
just jump right into it.
So Mass Effect, the whole stuff with BioWare, basically they said no more updates for single player.
Yeah.
No single player DLC.
Nope.
All that cool stuff about the Quarian, what's that damn thing called? The ship.
The Ark.
The Ark. All that stuff is going to be done via multiplayer. I'm very disappointed. I am so disappointed. Words cannot express my disappointment because Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 are phenomenal freaking games. Even if you don't like the ending of 3 and the ending of the trilogy, you cannot argue the trip. Mass Effect 1, the origin. Mass Effect 2, the Dark Knight of the trilogy. The really awesome. You know what? We don't have to end the series. We don't have to begin it. We are awesome character development. We're awesome that we redefine the gameplay. That is the most fun game to play out of all of them, in my opinion. Although 3 gives you all these cool, finale stuff. Not just the ending of the game, but all the cool arcs that they've been building since the first game. If you dive into it that much, where you understand all the stuff with the Krogan, all the stuff with the Quarians, all the stuff with the Geth.
Yeah.
It all wraps up neatly and awesomely in Mass Effect 3. So the Mass Effect trilogy on PS3, specifically on PS3, because it's really confusing. On 360, you get no DLC.
Right.
None, because basically you're getting the copies of the game that are already available.
Yeah.
Separately. You're just getting the discs from those put in here. And you're getting the same thing on the PS3. You're getting the exact same copies that have been released. However, the only way you can get Mass Effect 1 on physical form is to get the trilogy set.
Yes.
It was released digitally after the 5 years were up for Microsoft having exclusivity of it.
Right.
And it was released digitally in November of 2012, I think. But when that got released, they released the trilogy set. And so what do you get? Open this thing up.
Not like you're a Mass Effect freak or anything.
I only have it on every single console.
You have every version of it, don't you?
Yeah. So you get one disc for each because PS3.
Yeah.
Because Mass Effect 2 and 3 are both 2-disc games on the 360. Mass Effect 1, right over here. Over in England, you can actually get a standalone copy of 1.
Huh.
I don't know why they did that crap. What is this? What is this?
This is your purchase.
I like how we go crazy over our own receipts, just to see what we bought. What did we buy? I bought some paper towels. I bought some sort of chocolate.
Some sort of chocolate. We don't know what kind.
I don't know. I bought... No, okay.
Please tell me it's the wrong receipt.
No.
That would be hilarious.
No, two movies. I got 2 movies. I got Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Huh.
I got Woman in B.
Woman in B?
Woman in Black.
Woman in Black? I was going to say, it has to be Woman in Black.
That's the movie with Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
I got 2 Kickstarts. Mountain Dew Kickstarts.
Yeah.
I got a pack of gum. And I bought PS3 game, which was this. That was on, and I bought this well after it came out. I bought this on March 2nd, 2013. 13. Why? Because I got rid of my Xbox.
Yeah.
I kept my Mass Effect games because they're sentimental, but I wanted to play it, so I bought this. Now, we're talking about DLC. What's DLC? Well, Mass Effect 1, majorly, is DLC.
Yes.
But Mass Effect 2, you get a lot of DLC on this. You get Lair of the Shadow Broker on this. Big deal. That's one of the best DLCs they've ever made. Like, even for the whole thing, right?
Right.
Other than the Citadel DLC for 3. Lair of the Shadow Broker, best standalone DLC they've ever made because it actually adds a lot. I don't remember if you get Overlord on this. You get quite a bit because you get all of the. I think you get the Kasumi DLC, which is a character.
Right.
You get Zaid, which was for free anyway, as long as you bought the game new back in the day. Because online pass for Mass Effect 2, even though there was no online multiplayer.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mass Effect 1, you do get one DLC out of the 2 that were released. You get Down from the Sky, or Bring Down the Sky, which introduced the Batarians into the series. So that's on disc on here. You don't get the second one, which was just this space station where you did it was almost kind of like VR stuff.
Yeah.
Where you ran simulations and did stuff. That was not included for... I don't know why, if they didn't have the code for it anymore. But Mass Effect 3, heads up, no DLC on this disc.
Right.
None. Basically, what I'm saying is, if you buy Mass Effect 2, even out of this trilogy, you get Lair of the Shadow Broker and the DLCs on there. If you buy Mass Effect 3 out of this, no DLC. You can't buy Mass Effect 1 in US anywhere except for here.
On the PS3.
On PS3, well, you can get it on... Yes, on PS3, the only way you can get it physical is in the trilogy pack.
Right.
So while I am sorry...
Unless you're in England.
Unless you're in England, yeah, you lucky bastards.
You send
yeah.
him a copy so he'll quit talking about it.
If you send me a copy, then I have to go out and buy the physical copies of just the standalone 2 and 3.
You would.
Shut up.
you wouldn't even think twice.
Up next, we have Grand Theft Auto Episodes from Liberty City. Now, these were the first two. These are the 2 DLCs that came out for Grand Theft Auto 4. And this is The Lost and the Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony. And what these did, this was a really neat concept that they did. So Grand Theft Auto 4 had this big storyline, right?
Yeah.
You met a lot of different characters moving through in and out. There are 2 different main characters, one for The Lost and the Damned, one for The Ballad of Gay Tony, which I don't remember their names at the moment of time. Johnny and Luis Lopez.
There you go. Now you know the names.
So, Lost in the Dam follows biker gang, a la Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
And Ballad of Gay Tony is like a nightclub owner, Tony Prince. So you play 2 different add-ons, which have their own stories, but also cross over into the main GTA 4 arc. So when you see cutscenes with some of these characters in them, you see them from the other character's perspective.
Right.
And you see Nico there. When you're playing as Nico, you're like, oh, okay, so this guy's involved with this drug deal too. You see it from the other side of that,
right.
Which is really cool. I thought that was really a unique way. They planned it out, how they're going to do it.
Good old Nico.
And, of course, you could download these. Originally, Lost in the Dam was exclusive to the 360.
Right.
And I actually bought that because you can actually, you don't need GTA 4 to play these. These are stand-alone.
Yes.
Which is cool because then they put this out on a single disc. You can get this for the 360 as well. And so on one disc, you get both The Ballad of Gay Tony and the Lost in the Dam. And it's pretty cool because they went all out just like another GTA. You get your manual, which gives you all of your information for like your radios.
Does it have the radio stations?
Yeah.
That's like.
Yeah, because you have the hardcore radio. That is from Cannibal Corpse. You have a song called "I Come Blood."
There you go.
Put the kids to bed, guys. Iggy Pop hosts the rock radio station, and I actually really dig some of the stuff they added to the radio on here. I gotta find it though. Alice Cooper, Highway Star, Deep Purple, Renegade Sticks. Yes.
They have an ad for one of the things.
They have Princess Robot Bubblegum. They have Lord of the Thighs, Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Free Ride, Run to the Hills, Iron Maiden, Saturday Night Special, Wanted, Dead or Alive, yeah. But yeah, they went all out again with all that, and then of course, just like you get a map, and then and on one side you get the map, and the other side is a poster.
I'll tell you what, some of those like Grand Theft Auto, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls. I mean, they really go above and beyond for theirs, and their games are just so big.
They are. Speaking of big games, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I waited so long to pick this up because I wanted the complete edition.
Yes.
Which includes Heart of Stone, Blood and Wine, and 16 free DLCs that were released along the course of the game. I did start to play this. Look at that. I wonder where it is. It's in my Xbox One. This is an awesome game.
I wanted to pick it up.
It is, dude. Here's the thing. This is the third Witcher, right?
Yeah.
So the first one's only on PC. The second one is on 360. And because this is also on PS4. You can get this on PS4.
Right.
That's the reason why I bought this on Xbox One is because that game, The Witcher 2, is backwards compatible.
Right.
And so you can play it on the Xbox One. You can switch over to this. It's got its own huge lore into it. Dude, I want to get back to this game at some point because it was so good.
Right.
It was that good. I was enjoying the crap out of this game. And I think it's a game that you would really get into.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Especially like when you have like a big fantasy medieval type setting.
That's my setting anyway.
That's your setting. And then you have such deep lore. Like shit where they talk about it and you go, I have no idea what they just said. So you have to go look it up in the codex and go, wow, that's cool.
Right.
Because it's in there. And they just talk about it. Kind of like how, if you ever watch Game of Thrones, how they just say stuff.
Yeah.
They just say stuff and you go, what does that mean? And then the more that you play it, the more that you watch it, you learn a little bit more about it. Of course, you can, as I said, you can get The Witcher. That's also on PC. You can get this version on there. But
Game of Thrones this weekend. Finale. Sorry, I just had to bring it up.
Do you know the name of the episode?
What is the name of the episode?
The Dragon and the Wolf.
It's happening. I knew it was happening. Everybody knows.
Do you know how long the episode is?
It's like an hour and a half.
It is 79 minutes. Last week's episode, episode 6, was 70 minutes, and it's the longest episode. And next week is going to top it.
My question is it going to be Dragon? Is he going to pull away from Khaleesi?
I don't know.
Or Dany?
I don't know. Up next, this is a newer game that I got. I still haven't played it because I'm not paying the subscription for it. I do believe that they are still. I don't know if they're even still open.
I don't know if they're still supporting it or not. I know that the
PS2 one closed.
The PS2 one closed, but the one that I have, A Realm Reborn, is doing so well that they may have closed it.
So Final Fantasy 11 Online Ultimate Collection. This is on the 360. Of course, originally released for the PS2 and PC. This comes with the original game, plus all the expansions, plus 3 add-on scenarios. Equal one ultimate online experience. I got this for like $8. And the reason why I bought it, I didn't buy this to play. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big MMO guy, as Mike knows. I'm not a big online guy at all. Like it is, you have to twist my arm to get me to play online.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even really want to play Andromeda online too much. Because I was so sucked into the story. And then after I got done with the game, I didn't want to play online anymore. I didn't want to play the game anymore. Not that I hated it. I enjoyed my time with it, but I was ready to move on, especially at that point to Persona.
They shut down the 360 one.
Did they? Is it down?
Yeah, right there. Whenever they shut down the PS2, they shut down the Xbox.
Oh, so that happened. When did that happen? March 2016. All right, so yeah, I guess negate this one, but it's there for collectors, which is cool because I remember finding the PS2 one for like $20 once, and literally I got this so I could have the number.
All the numbers.
That's me. That's the collector, and it's all on one disc. I got my receipt.
Receipt.
I think we talked about this then, but I bought Batman Returns, the Far Cry compilation.
Which is
next, right here.
Next.
On the Xbox 360, you get the Far Cry compilation, which is Far Cry 2, Far Cry 3, and Far Cry Blood Dragon, which is the expansion for Far Cry 3.
But
so,
But
This is also available on the PS3. However, Blood Dragon is a download code on the PS3.
yes, and I own that
Now,
version.
if you open this up, what do you see?
More than one disc.
Far Cry 2, Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon. Physical disc for Blood Dragon.
Yeah, mine's
No
a
download
DLC.
here. So unfortunately,
I probably only have 1 and 2.
yeah, because the code is probably redeemed.
Yep.
And so if I were you, I would try to swap that out.
Since I have a 360 now,
Exactly.
I will probably look for it.
And oh my God, Blood Dragon is so much fun. These games are fun to play. These games are really cool, and all the things that they try to do and how open they try to make them.
I spent hours just building multiplayer levels just for the sheer fact of just building a crazy level and building scenarios.
I played through some Far Cry 3. It was really fun. I'm not even into first person, and you know that, but it was fun. Blood Dragon had me laughing, and I really enjoyed it. What's cool is that they take the engine and the gameplay of Far Cry 3, and they make a game very heavy 80s, and they just like, you know what if we just had a fun experience?
Yep.
Not really associated with Far Cry, not really associated with this or that. Let's just take that and let's make something entirely different that no one's going to expect.
Right.
And that's exactly what it is. And so the 360 is the one you want to get for physical copy, guys. The PS3 one, unfortunately, sucks. And I think
didn't pay much for it though.
That's good.
I paid like $6 or $7.
That's good because I think this. What did this? Oh, I have my receipt over here.
I'm gonna say it's in that one.
What did that cost me? The Far Cry compilation on this one cost me $17.
Right.
And I bought that this spring, but I literally sought this one out just so I could have the physical copy of Blood Dragon. Last one I have, awesome game. Cannot wait for the sequel for this game to come out next year. I played this on PS3. I no longer have my PS3 version. I sold it because I got this from Jeremiah, a guy we used to work with.
Yes.
He sold his Xbox 360 and had a stack of games that they would not take, and he goes, there's a stack of games, $20, they're all yours. And that had a Halo 3, 4, Reach, this game, a couple others.
Yeah, that's for the first 2 games pays for itself.
Almost. So, but this is why I wanted it. Why? Same reason as the other one. Download code versus physical.
Yeah.
Because this releases with the DLCs for the multiplayer, which don't care about that. But it releases for the DLC for the Undead Nightmare. I'm talking about Red Dead Redemption. And the Undead Nightmare, it was sort of the same thing as like Blood Dragon. They took Red Dead, the game they already made, they put it out. Damn near masterpiece for them doing a Wild West game, and now
Yeah.
it works. Let's put a little bit of GTA in there. It works. Crazy. It has way better gunplay than a GTA game. This game is one reason why the gunplay in GTA 5 was good.
Yeah.
Because they learned, and then they made Max Payne 3. Then they brought that over. All the mechanics here, and all the environments, it makes you, it sinks you in.
Right.
It is immersive, which is what you want. You want to feel like you're there. You want to feel like you're doing stuff. They have a lot of cool extra stuff to do. Play blackjack, play some poker, play some horseshoes,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. You can go bounty hunting.
Yep.
But the Undead Nightmare was like them going, you know what? Let's take that same game and let's make a wacky, crazy story with it. And
That's what they
put
did.
zombies in the Wild West. And that's exactly what they did. And not only do you get wacky zombies, for your horses, you can get 4 horses. You can get the 4 horses of the apocalypse. And one of them, you can have like the flames. You can just set on hordes of zombies up with flames. And of course, I mean, you have the single player, and then you have the multiplayer disc,
Right.
which also has Undead Nightmare right there. And also, just like the other Rockstars,
You get
the map.
a map.
Which, I mean, again, physical copy stuff is just, as a collector, I love it. Now, I'm about ready to spoil something for you guys. You guys already know it. Come on, you played Red Dead Redemption.
I have played it. I have played it, but I have not played it all the way through.
Okay.
Every time something about this game, those kind of games, I get in it, and then I become lost and just fucking around.
Okay.
That's just what I do with Grand Theft Auto. I get in there and I just fuck around.
I get sucked to see because I actually got to a point where I stopped fucking around just to play the story because the story is about John Marston. He was a part of a gang.
Right.
And now the government has pretty much ransomed his family. They said, you're going to help us or we're taking your family and you guys are going to pay a heavy price for the stuff that you did. And they use him to hunt down his former crewmates, his former band, his former gang. That's your goal throughout the story. You get and hunt down all of your former gang. And there's twists and turns along the way. You end up working with wacky people to get your goal accomplished.
Right.
And then in the end, you finally take out the ringleader, your boss. He was the gang leader. And then you get that long ride back to your house where your family is. And you start building your life. It goes from like all these crazy missions to just building your farm. Do this, do that. You show your kid how to hunt. You guys are like driving cattle. And you're like, wow, this is kind of boring. And then the government comes for him. They fuck him. And they come swarming on your farm. And you fight and you get your family out. There's one horse. And you're in a barn. And you get your kid, who's like 13, 14, and your wife on the horse. And you're like, come on. And he's like, he smacks the horse and tells him, get out. Go. Don't come back. And that horse rides off. And he turns and he goes to the door of the barn, which is closed. He looks through there and he sees a line of U.S. Marshals. And he opens the door and walks out. And one last dead eye comes up. The time slows down. And you try to take out as many as you can before you fall. And you fall.
Yeah.
And he gets shot up. And he falls. And he dies. And then you switch and play as the kid. And ride back. And they find him. And they bury him. And then it plays the scene with the cross, right?
Right.
And it zooms out and it goes into like a few years later, and then the wife's died like just a few years later, and now the son's older. And the son hunts down the fucking agent that fucked him over and kills him. That's the last thing you do. After you beat the Undead Nightmare, when you can do free roam,
Yeah.
it goes to the end of Red Dead Redemption, and Zombie Marston comes out of the grave. And you play as a cognitive Zombie Marston because
That's pretty cool.
he dies in the main game.
Right.
So you're like, and you're riding your horse, like, and he doesn't say anything anymore. He just goes, but he's cognitive. He can actually shoot and do all this kind of stuff. But yeah, awesome fucking game. Worth every penny, no matter like. But definitely seek out the 360 version. You get again all the physical copies of the DLC, and I cannot wait for Rockstar storytelling can be second to none.
Yes.
You know, when they do it right, they do it right. You know, and it's like they did it right with this. In my opinion, they also did it right with GTA 5. I love GTA 5 more for the story than I do the other stuff because they did such a good job with it.
It's a great. I love the three characters.
Dude,
I love. It's a good game.
The
The end of that game is hoorah.
Dude, it's awesome.
For sure.
I really enjoyed that, and I cannot wait to play the second Red Dead. I've got it pre-ordered. It's paid for. It's done. I'm getting it, and I'm OCD in a way with my collecting. It's funny because there's a few titles I have that crisscross platforms.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I'm also not in the mood to change it because I switched and I now have Red Dead Redemption for the 360. Redemption 2 is coming to me on the Xbox One. But I'm not going to be playing it with people.
Right.
You know, my first choice would be PlayStation. That's where I play a lot of my games. If you look at my collection, and you're going to see I have a lot more PS4 games than Xbox One games. Which is why I was going to get the Mega Man games on Xbox One. Until I started seeing that the controller, well, I thought the D-pad would be better for Mega Man. They said the location of it, and that is probably up to debate and probably up for personal.
Right, that's personal preference.
Personal preference, but I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe the PlayStation is just the place to get it, and I just went ahead and splurged and did it. So that is the end of our first topic, and we're gonna go.
It's a long first topic.
It was. That's the meat of our show.
Yeah.
We are gonna talk about the SNES debacle.
No.
Did you get an SNES Classic, Mike?
No, because I wasn't on for the 3 minutes they were available.
Well, I was at work, and I didn't even know they were going live.
I didn't get the email. I got the email that they were live, and then I got the email that they were gone.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So they went up, and it was a fiasco. And people have them. People are selling the pre-orders.
Currently, pre-orders are going for $300 for these. Once again, fuck you, scalpers.
You know what? I'm also kind of angry at Nintendo.
Yes.
Because it's literally not difficult to make this. It is a pretty cheap emulation machine.
It's basically a Raspberry Pi.
Essentially, with legitimately licensed ROMs.
Right.
You know? And so for $80, you get to play with a cool, legitimate Super Nintendo controller.
Right.
Playing this list of games that you can download for legally, you know. ROMs are illegal unless you own the game.
Yes.
Wink. It's not like anybody's going to come and stop it. But the thing is that they said everybody should be able to get one. They said that they're going to have enough. So we're going to get another wave of pre-orders from what I understand. But they also said they're only going to make them to the end of the year, which frustrates the crap out of me because there's a market for this. It's the same thing with the NES. People want this thing. So why are you limiting it and letting these scalpers make more money?
Yeah.
Because if you just make more of them available, they make less money and you make even more money for yourself. And I don't understand it. I don't understand why this just wouldn't be a complimentary product next to whatever the stuff. You're already saying that the 3DS has a life right alongside the Switch. I disagree. Eventually, that's going to dwindle, and the Switch is going to be your dedicated console and handheld.
Yes.
Within the next couple of years. Now, they are not ready to phase out the 3DS yet. So be it. It's still making killer.
They just came out with a new 2DS.
The new 2DS outsold the Switch in Japan, which is probably why that tells me how much I know. But
right.
Again, why would you not make this just all right? It's available for as long as we can make parts. Because literally the only thing that's holding them back is them being able to manufacture like the casings and all that stuff.
Right.
And it's ridiculous. And I'm to the point with this where I'm just going to tell people to go get a Raspberry Pi.
Yep.
Hook it up to your TV. Put all the damn ROMs on there because you can do it.
You get every single one.
And check this out.
Buy you a USB controller.
You can buy USB. You can also get Bluetooth. You can actually get Raspberry Pis with Bluetooth. And guess what's Bluetooth? You can get from 8BitDo a Super Nintendo Bluetooth controller. Yep. Also with the Raspberry Pis, you can use the PS4 controllers.
Yep.
So there is that.
So you know what, Nintendo? We still love you.
I mean, I'm still buying a Switch at some point.
At some point, yes.
It's one of the many things. I have a love-hate relationship with Nintendo in my later years. You know, when I was a kid, they could do no wrong. But then I went to PlayStation and I still enjoyed the 64. Still enjoyed the GameCube, but my relationship with Nintendo definitely changed.
Yes.
At that point. But it's just a matter of I am just so over the BS. I'm so over the Wii. It came out. You can't find it anywhere. The Wii U came out. We can't find it anywhere. Guess what? Don't worry, because you're gonna find as many as you want because they ain't selling.
Yeah.
Then the Switch. We can't find it. Well, GameStops across the country just got 5 in each.
Yeah.
It's not all their fault with the Switch. I get it, but it's still frustrating. Switching gears, Gamescom is going on. We watched some videos. We watched the gameplay for Forza 7.
Which looks amazing.
That's running on the Xbox One X, which comes out this November. And, of course, we talked about that on the E3 episode.
Watch the 24-hour noon ball circuit on Gran Turismo Sport.
Yeah, we watched the
Newtonburg, whatever the rest of it is that I can't pronounce.
So we watched some of that, and it looked fantastic. It was running at 4K at 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
It looked so smooth. we watched the Gran Turismo one, which did run as smooth. Maybe it was.
I think a lot of it was the fact that the way that they were capturing it was at night, so you get a lot of the glare. And that's realistic.
You also mentioned that you want to mess with your TV settings, but then when we watched other videos, it didn't look as bad.
Right.
So I don't know. It still looked pretty good. The lighting effect on that game on Gran Turismo looked. It was jaw dropping. With
the fact that whenever you pass somebody, you cannot see the Gran Turismo logo
like
on your. It's like on your. It's like a brow. It's a car brow, and then when you pass by them, the light hits it just right, and it flashes it on, and
it also changes based on whatever headlights they have. So
right.
Because we saw the yellow ones, and then somebody else had like the LEDs, the bright white light,
and it changed. And it actually changed the color because the other cars were side by side, and one was a little yellow, and then you could see it blend together. It's fantastic. They did a fantastic job.
The Xbox One X Project Scorpio edition, the special edition, it's almost kind of like their cool one for the collectors,
right.
the diehard Xbox fans to get. The only difference is actually on this console it says Project Scorpio, and also says on the controller. I think it also has like some custom sort of design on the top as well. I think it's a 1 terabyte version for that one.
I do believe that the Elite controllers will work with those, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's what
So here's the question, Mike. You don't own an Xbox One.
No.
If you're going to get one, are you going to splurge and go for the Xbox One X?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the only way to do it, because with that being said, is that you can get now Xbox original OG Xbox games you can play on your Xbox X, 360, and the S.
There's so many 360 games now that are backwards compatible.
So you're literally opening up 4 libraries of games. I own a 360 only because the deal was just so good. If I walked away from it, I would kick myself the entire time. So I got it.
I also posted the video.
I saw the picture. Yeah, I saw the picture of Mike's Japanese Xbox. But no, it with it being 4K, it looks great. It looks great.
Now the 360 games are not going to display in 4K. Same with the OG Xbox.
Right.
They're going to maybe look
little smoother.
Some of the other Xbox One games that don't go to 4K are going to definitely get a boost as well. I did see that Recore, that game that they made with the dude that made Mega Man.
Yes.
That's getting a 4K patch.
Right.
To run for that as well. I saw that.
So here's my only thing with the X launch. Where's my titles?
There's 4 to 7, and that's it. Crackdown got delayed. There's probably going to be, basically with the X, the selling point is going to be in games that are already out, games that if you're an Xbox fan, that you would already own, okay,
right,
and that they're going to have 4K support. The other side of that is that if you don't own an Xbox yet, you have a back library of cheaper games to get for that have 4K. So while you're not getting a buttload of games out the gate brand new that are 4K, you're getting upgrades to current games.
So here's my personal opinion. And I've been leaning towards PlayStation for a while now. I like my PlayStation. It's never done me wrong. But if you're looking to get a new console, maybe you don't have one, or maybe you're just like, I would like to have this. Maybe you just have like the 360 or the PlayStation 4. This is the one to get, because you're opening up all these libraries. You're getting 4K content. They're doing the same thing that they do with the PS4 Pro.
Mm-hmm. The only other selling point would be, what do you want out of exclusives?
Right.
I mean, and that's the only other question. And while the Xbox is suffering right now in that, it's still getting all the major third-party games.
It's going to be better.
The difference between the PS4 and Xbox One performance is nil and none right now.
Well, performance-wise, this X will be much better than
it will. Yes, it will be far superior. But as far as like when you're talking just in general, like it's not really talked about anymore, because they have allocated enough free memory, if you want to even use that term. I'm not a big tech guy, but stuff that was dedicated more to background stuff and to connect has been freed up for games to use, so they can run just a little bit better. So you're looking at minuscule stuff, like minute stuff that if you put these games side by side, you're gonna have to look for it.
I mean, I'm gonna nitpick here. Let's go with home screen. The easiest way to do it. PS4 home screen. I love it. I love the layout of it. I love that everything's into sections and categories.
They're getting ready to launch another one for the Xbox. It's like the third, fourth one.
This is like the third or fourth one because they're hard to navigate. I mean, I don't want, and this is just, like I said, nitpicking. I don't want to have a shitload of ads on my, every time I pull up, here's this, and they autoplay. I don't, what the fuck?
The one doesn't autoplay those anymore, like the 360 does. The 360 does. But the one, I just saw the new update, the dashboard, and it does look better. I saw Major Nelson and some other dude kind of walk through it, and there is a slight learning curve to it. But to me, as someone who had to learn navigating yet a new dashboard after I didn't like the first one, I like this one now a little bit better. This new one seems like it's going to be a little bit more intuitive and putting more of what you want where you want it.
Right.
A little bit more customizable, which was good.
Well, that's good because you're looking at, because they do have a good setup. I mean, you have your tabs. PlayStation has their tab categories. It's just set up differently. It's a drop down screen. This on the Xbox, it shows
Windows.
It's Windows. It's here you go, boom. Here's your stuff. Oh, and here's
your games.
Here's your games. Here's some other games.
Here's your apps.
Here's games you played recently. If you want to play them, you can just click right here. Stuff like that. That's great, but I don't want ads.
Right.
That was my biggest thing with the 360 is you would put it on there, and sometimes, like me, if I'm home alone, I use, like, whenever I had a 360, I cranked that son of a bitch way up because I was playing racing games.
Yeah.
You just want to hear it drive through. But
and then you accidentally hit one of those ads.
You hit one of those ads, like when you load it up, and it's like, God. But no, that would be. I mean, if I did not have the array of systems that I do, I would be getting an Xbox.
Well, and that isn't to say that you couldn't get one down the line anyway.
Right.
Especially once.
I will get one eventually, but
yeah. I do want to upgrade my Xbox One for two reasons. Eventually, I will get 4K. Number one. Number two, smaller space because my Xbox One is huge.
It's huge.
It's so huge. It's the biggest console. I can't turn my console on its side, and I don't do that anyway. But you literally cannot do that. I have one of the original thick models, the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare version.
Yeah.
I love it. I actually do like my Xbox One, and I play it. Not as much maybe as the PS4, but lately, with the Fallouts, with a few other games, with The Witcher, I put some time into it. And before I was like, I'll never own one of these things, and my mind has been changed on that because they changed their perspective because they had to.
Right.
And by doing so, they are doing better things for gamers than PlayStation is because PlayStation is, and this is the same for Xbox or PlayStation. Whoever's on top in that generation, they're gonna sort of be like,
What'd I do?
What to do? So PlayStation. Here's the thing with me. My exclusives on PlayStations are what I like better.
Yes.
Uncharted. Holy crap.
Right.
All four of them are absolutely fantastic, especially 4. And that's on the PS4. You can get all of them on the PS4 with that collection, but
Nathan Drake collection.
The one made for 4 utilizes it's amazing. Then you have the God of War series. Okay. It was once good, but the new one coming out
looks amazing.
They've kind of rethought their pathway. It's like, let's make this God of War, but then let's add a little bit of like Zelda into it or something like that.
Right.
And it just looks like it's going to be so good. The Last of Us Part 2.
Yes.
Is coming, and then
right here, literally right here is one of the reasons to come to PlayStation.
The Last of Us.
Last of Us is just it's a 10. Like I said, it's a 10. I mean, there's very few games that I will lay here and say like Skyrim's a 10. This is a 10. Fallout's a 10.
You know what's funny is that Fallout 4 was a little divisive. I love it. I thought it was damn good. I don't know if it's a 10 for me because I don't think any of the Fallouts have hit 10, but it is high ranking. It's very difficult for me to put a tag on that simply because each time now that I've played it again, my experience has been totally different as far as like where I'm going and how I'm doing things, which is awesome because it's like, you know, you said you restarted a couple times, and I'm sure you kind of had that too, where like, well, I went this way first, let me just go over here next and go over here.
Actually, funny thing is, like, the last character I just made, it was exactly the way that my first one was made. Like, the one that I wanted to play, like the sniper version, and I built her, and I stopped, because I always pick female, because there's more males in the world than there are females, and you get that bonus, the Black Widow, which gives you more damage. I set it up for the exact same way I played the last time, and because I love that way to play, and I stopped, and I was like, fuck, I gotta start all over again. I had to delete it all, and I was getting ready to make my character, and I stopped, and I was just like, I want Skyrim. I've been watching Joanna play it, and I was like, I feel like I need to play Skyrim. And I need to play it the way that I wanted to play it originally, because you always pick a path. Like, in these style of games, you always want to say, I want to do this. And you have to kind of stay on that path, because you start blurring the other stuff, you're not as strong. Well, this time I stuck with my guns, and I'm one-shotting 90% of the bosses right now already, and I'm level 15.
I'm getting to that point, dude, where my brain capacity is starting to go.
Yeah.
It's been a long day for me.
Yes.
I've not, and no, like, I'm totally listening to you, but like when I'm not like actively like talking, it just gets to a point where it's like, I'm here.
Yeah. Well, it's about time to wrap this up.
I think it is. Yeah. I'm definitely just gonna recommend these. I've played all of these already. The Mega Man games. So I'm just gonna recommend that.
Can I recommend that too? Because there's 10 of them.
Here you go. You take that one.
All right.
I recommend Legacy Collection.
I recommend Legacy Collection DOS.
Yeah, great game.
Specifically
great,
8.
Okay, great 10 games.
Specifically 8. And 7.
Yeah, good games. I absolutely love them.
Amazing.
It'd be awesome if they also did a Mega Man X Legacy Collection.
Yeah.
Because Mega Man X.
Yeah. Let's see. How much is that going for?
The first one?
Not much. Not bad.
No. The Mega Man X 2 and 3 are they're up there.
$300 last time I checked for 2.
Anyway, Mega Man X is one of my favorite Mega Man games. Period.
Huh.
I love the original games. Don't get me wrong, but Mega Man X for me, I'll never forget renting that and playing a Super Nintendo. Going, whoa.
8's mine. That's the game for me.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking us out this week on the Game Addicts podcast. Please tell us what some of your favorite DLCs are. If you want to interact with us on our Twitter, Game Addicts Play, or comments on the YouTube channel, please do so, man. We encourage that. We want to hear from you guys. If you want to check us out on all of our social medias, we have a Facebook. You can go check us out there. We're on Instagram, which I try to remember to put up. I've just put up that picture of our Japanese venture, trying to get through the menus of the 360, and I might try and take a picture of maybe some of our stuff here. To kind of showcase for the episode. I took a picture of the PSP stuff. Here's the thing. I have good intentions. And then I get so busy. Because I have been so busy with the Journey into Comics Network, which we are a part of. Oh, I'm getting these. Sliding into these segues. Setting it up. Yeah, so you guys can check us out over there onto the Patreon. Because if you give us $1 a month, you get early access to the shows. And you get all of them up to a week early. So when and where possible. Sometimes some of the shows get up at the last minute, like this week's GIC was up on Sunday instead of like normally we get it done on Friday, a few days in advance. Well, it was up the day before. So I really didn't plug that and go say, hey, go pay $1 to hear this like a few hours early. But if it's, definitely for Game Addicts, it works really well for us because last week we recorded it last week because we released a new episode last week.
Yeah.
And I went home and put it up on the Patreon. So I literally, first time ever, released 2 episodes in the same day, just not on this feed.
Right.
But if you guys want to do that, that'd really help us out so much because, it was really cool. It's really cool being a part of something with other people.
Yes.
Bringing other people in, bringing you into podcasting, bringing Blaine into podcasting, bringing my wife and your wife into podcasting.
Yeah.
Whoever would have thought that they would have done that like a year ago. And, their episode is doing very well. And they're very entertaining and they let themselves just sort of go a little bit. Maybe they needed a little bit of extra oomph to get to that level. But the more that they record, the more that they're going to get used to it, and the more that they'll chill, and the more that they'll just relax. And
it'll be just like this, where we just 2 guys hanging out in a loft.
In a loft
talking
with
about
a big
games,
light, with a camera.
Yeah, with a camera.
It definitely doesn't really feel like it's laid back, but this is what we would do at work anyway. We
Yeah,
just hit
that's,
the record
and
button.
what is nice is that we don't. It's not nice, but it's nice because we don't work together. So if we work together, normally that's all we talked about.
Yep.
And now we can share that here with everyone
Exactly.
else.
We can have the conversation for the first time and not the second time.
Right.
So, yeah, that's going to do it for us here this week on the show. Please check us out on all that other stuff. But it's time to go because I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I want to see my kid maybe for a second. Maybe he'll let me hug him because he's in his terrible
Yeah.
twos and doing all that stuff.
Cranky.
He's like, I don't want to do no. And I'll walk away. And he's like, hug? And I walk back, no.
Too bad. You're getting one.
Yeah, I usually force him. And then he's like, no, all done. Yeah, it's funny. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking out this episode, downloading, watching, subscribing, all that cool stuff. Until next time, I'm Brando,
And I'm Mike.
and we'll see you then.